morning and welcome to another episode of Real Money Matters. I'm so glad that you tune in today to view us. It is our endeavor every week to come to you to bring you an awareness that your money matters. It matters what you make. It matters what you spend. It matters what you save. It matters how you manage the money you've worked hard for and that's been entrusted to you. So today we have a great show for you. I want you to call a friend, call a neighbor, let them know Real Money Matters is on the air. And yes, I want to hear from you. I want to know that these programs are helping you to plan your life financially, even get yourself in a better place financially. And that is our endeavor. So I need to know that we're successful in what we're doing. So please contact us. Let us know that Real Money matters to you. How about that? So today, like I said, we have a special guest. He's going to talk about rapid debt elimination. Guess what? With no extra out of your pocket spending. Can you imagine that? No refinancing, no filing bankruptcy, no credit counseling. What? Are you serious? You're going to want to tell someone about that. Rapid debt elimination, because we need to get out of debt. We need to get ourselves in a positive cash flow, and we need to eliminate debt. And also, he's going to talk about business opportunities. Oh my gosh, I am so pro businesses. You have to have a business. You have to develop your own and become empowered through your own business. And you can do that. And he's going to be here. So I'm so excited to have him as a guest today. You have to call someone, let them know Real Money Matters is on the air, and we have a special guest who's going to help you not only eliminate debt rapidly, but also to get you in a place of business. And for the new year, we are winding down 2013. Oh my goodness, where did the year go? And we're starting. We want to finish strong. It's still a few more days left. You can still make good choices, good decisions that are going to position you to start off 2014 in a great way. I want you to get your planning meetings. We talked about savings and budgeting. I have some good quotes for you later on here from Warren Buffett. I thought they were great concerning saving and other matters. But I just want you to align your life in a way where you can be successful, because you can. You can be successful. So like I said, call someone, let them know, get your favorite cup of Java or whatever you drink so you can be comfortable. You're going to want to stay tuned. You want to listen to all this information that's coming up. And then you're going to want to listen to it again, because once you see me live, guess what? You can go back later and review it. So take some notes, have your questions, contact me with any of your questions. You can reach me at Real Money Matters at RachelRKennedy.com. That's again Real Money Matters at RachelRKennedy.com. And I look forward to hearing your comments. Let us know how these programs are helping you. Give us any suggestions on anything you would like to see happen, or any topics that you would like to have discussed, because there's so many things that we can gather and help together. And I think why networking is so important. And this guy that's going to come on later on the show, I'm kind of teasing you here to get you excited. I met him through a networking event, and it is so important for us to network. Even though we're in similar industries, he's in the financial industry as well, helping people financially, there's no reason for us not to work together. Collaborating is such a good thing, even if we have similar interests or different interests, because we all have our own part. So I want to encourage you. We got to begin to network. I want to hear from you. We want to talk with you and help you develop business. Business is so important. So I want you to keep that in mind. Christmas is coming. Oh my gosh, we're 5 days out for Christmas. It is today is December 20th, and I just want to encourage you, even if you don't have any gifts, don't feel bad. Get a bow and wrap yourself up and just sit under the tree, or just be thankful, because you are a gift. If you're here and you have life, there's so many things going on in the world today that affects us financially, emotionally, in every kind of way. So we just want you to be encouraged. Maybe you can prepare for next Christmas. If you haven't saved the money, we talked about a saving plan, and I challenge you to that 52-week saving plan that we're going to start at the beginning of January. So I need to know that you're committed to that savings. We call it the 52-week savings plan, where every week we're going to save whatever amount of money that week is. So what does that mean? So week 1, we're going to save $1, okay? And then week 2, we're going to save $2. So you're going to see it accumulate. And this is just a small in addition to your continued savings that you're doing already, this is just a small, little, simple thing to help you get into the habit. You have to develop a habit of saving, and a little bit adds up. So if you save that amount each week, by the end of the year, you're going to have $1,300 just like that, just by saving after week 3, $3. That's very simple, and you can save that. And if you want to save more, guess what? You can do that as well. But you want to save at least a minimum every week, and that's going to put you in a good position for next year, for Christmas, or for whatever project it is that you want to plan and save for. We talk about the budget. It's just all about planning. A budget is just a plan. A budget is the B word that I talk about all the time. It's not a bad word. The B word is not a bad word, budget, because it is the best word for your money. So I'm excited today. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. It's coming soon, so make sure you call somebody, let them know Real Money Matters is on the air, and we have some important information that's going to help you set up your 2014 to be so successful, and you're going to be glad you did. So I want to move on to the quotes for today, and like I said, these were some excellent quotes I found by Warren Buffett. Who is Warren Buffett? Oh, one of the richest men in the world. Yeah, so he's one of them. So he has a few quotes, and usually I just do one quote, but I found this and he had different quotes on different topics, so I want to share those with you today. And the first quote is on earnings, and this is one of his quotes on earnings, and he says, never depend on single income, make investment to create a second source. And you know that investment is a soft income where you can be sleep passive, is what I want to say. You can be sleeping, earning money, and investment. And guess what? Our guest is going to talk about that today as well. So I think we're right in line here. Also, another one, Warren Buffett quote on spending. He said, if you buy things you do not need, soon you will have to sell the things you need. Oh my gosh. Isn't that something? You know, we can spend our money, and how many times do we buy things and they sit in our closet, or they sit in somewhere and not being used, and so we just buy things, and so there's money that's tied up in things that are just sitting around your house. You know, you could have been using that money and causing that money to grow and earn money for you. So that's something I thought was a good saying. And then his quote, Warren Buffett's quote on saving. And his quote on saving says, you do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. And I tell you, that is so important. A lot of times we think because we have debt or we have other situations that we can't save. You need to save off the top. You need to make it a habit. Those who are employees and have payroll checks and get direct deposits, have it come directly out of your check into a special account that you don't have access to. I mean, it's just so important. It's just that simple for you to do. So savings is it should be a priority. You have to make savings a priority. And actually, every area of finance, it has to be a priority for you. And so you have to set your priorities in place concerning your finances for them to be better. And then the next quote he has is on taking risk. He had a quote on taking risk. And his quote on taking risk says, never test the depth of river with both feet. Isn't that something? So if you want to test how deep it is, don't jump in with both feet. Just put one in, because then you'll still be safe and secure. So I thought that was a good quote as well. And then on investments, his quote, Warren Buffett quote on investments is, do not put all eggs in one basket. And how many times have we heard that? You want to diversify. You want to spread it out. You want to make it so that you're able to, if one goes down, the other one may go up, and it'll balance out. Or both may go up, both may go down. So it's good that you do not put everything in one, because once it's all gone, it's all gone. So I thought that was a good quote. And the last quote from Warren Buffett for today, and we're going to bring on our guest, is his quote on expectations. Honesty is very expensive gift, he says. Do not expect it from cheap people. Oh my goodness. Honesty, I tell you, in business is the best policy. Honesty is always the best policy. And most of all, we need to be honest with ourselves first. And once we're honest with ourselves, then we can, it'll be easier to be honest with everybody else. So that's all I'm going to say about the quotes for today. I'm so excited. I want to give this guest time to explain to you his expertise in finance, and I know you're going to enjoy it. To call a friend, call a neighbor, let them know Real Money Matters is on the air. We're going to talk about debt elimination, and we're going to talk about business opportunities for you. So stay tuned. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you've called a friend, called a neighbor, let them know that Real Money Matters is on, and we have a special guest that's going to talk to us today about financial management, about business opportunities, and I am so excited to introduce to you this young man. His name is John Pettiford L. Thank you for coming and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right. I'm so glad. He's a fellow in the same industry of finance, and I've talked with him and met with him. He has some tremendous and excellent opportunities, and I just want us to just share and tell us a little bit about your history, a little about who you are, and how did you get into this industry?
Well, a little bit about me first. I was born and raised in Detroit.
That's wonderful.
So I've been here all my life. Great. And I worked as a shift manager for Marriott for many years at the airport. And I was trying to figure out, it's a funny story, I was trying to figure out how could I make extra money.
Okay.
Because my daughter was very young. She was about 18 months old.
Wow.
And I said, well, this $30,000 a year I'm making is not really a lot of money. So I started looking at other types of business ventures that I could do to add on to working full time.
Okay.
And I fell into this industry in late 96, early 97.
Okay.
And I got into a little company called Excel Communications. And, I didn't know anything about business, didn't know anything about marketing, sales, anything like that.
Wow.
So I kind of fell flat on my face.
Okay.
And
that's a good thing sometimes.
Well, it was a good thing, but I was bitten by the entrepreneur bug.
Okay.
And I don't come from what is called, some people say, with the right side of the tracks.
Yes.
I'm a single family household.
Okay.
So I know what it is to go without and all those different things.
Yes.
And but I did have a dream to become a millionaire.
Wonderful.
And I didn't know how I was going to get it done. And lo and behold, God just blessed me and brought me to where I am today.
Wonderful.
So that's really where we are today. And I've been in business for many years.
Okay.
Full time. I retired at 35 years old from corporate America.
Wow.
And now what I do is my passion is helping people, teaching them how to understand money and how to catalyst themselves into being a millionaire if that's what they want, or even a several $100,000 if that's what they want.
Right. I think that's wonderful, and I think especially in this day and time in society, people can't depend on another employer. They need to be the employer and be able to have that empowerment to be able to affect change. And the thing I love about business, you have to do something that you love, because you're going to spend a lot of time with it. So you want to do whatever your passion is. And so everything begins with a thought, and depends on how committed you are to that thought will determine your success in that. So I commend you. I love it. I love entrepreneurs. And I love being around people who will inspire to business. So tell us about, what are you into now? What's going on? You talked about rapid debt elimination. Tell us a little bit about that, or whatever the process works for you, how you want to discuss.
Okay. Well, first, I think what people have to understand is what the objective is with their finances.
Okay, I agree.
We have two objectives. Okay, number one, we have income that we have today that we're trying to live on.
Yeah.
So we want to maintain that, whether it's $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 a month. Okay. Now, one day we have to answer this question: where is the money going to come from when I cannot work? Because that's ultimately where we're trying to go. We want this thing called retirement, but we don't want to live a mediocre lifestyle or less than where we are today.
Right.
So we must prepare for that.
Yes.
Now, I've talked to about 6,000 or 7,000 people about this concept and taught it to many, and I have not found 50 people that were on track when I got to them to get to where they were trying to go. And many people need somewhere upwards to $750,000 in assets, all the way up to $1.5 million, depending on their lifestyle and things of that nature in retirement.
Okay.
And most people had no clue that they needed $1 million+.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what the end result looks like, there's no way to plan how to get to the destination.
Right. And a lot of times people are in the now, they don't even think about the future.
Correct.
Yes.
Early on in our 20s, we don't save very much money. We spend everything we get, obviously. And then when we get out of our 20s and move into our 30s, what happens to us is now we're starting our family, we're building our life, we're getting homes, we're getting cars, and we're paying off student loans and all those different things. Well, now there's hardly anything left after we pay all the life expenses.
Correct.
And then when we're 40 or 45 years old, we say, whoa, I got to get onto this.
Yes.
Now we don't have time on our side.
Right.
So the average person I run into needs to invest somewhere between $1,000 and $1,500 a month to fix their life.
Yes, you have to do quicker. To do more. How great it would be. And that's why I'm so an advocate of teaching the youth the importance of this now and helping them to recognize and just be aware that there is a future and that you need to plan for. And just imagine, like my daughter, she's 13, and we're starting her with investments and things of that nature. You know, by the time she goes to college, really next year she'll be in high school. So I got 4 years to get her to college. Oh my goodness.
Right.
You know, what do you do? How do you get all of that? So then you find yourself in situations, especially with children, so expensive, and they're part of your budget. So you're planning for your retirement, but you also got to plan for their future as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
And what we have to understand is now, what are the obstacles that stop us from accomplishing the financial objective? So now we got 4 different obstacles. The first one is taxes.
Taxes, yes.
If you look at your life, taxes take up 1/3 in just income taxes.
Yes.
And that's not including sales tax, property tax, and all these other different types of taxes.
That's true.
So when you lose 30 or 40% of your income to taxes before you really ever do anything for your family, you're getting a financial haircut. So that's your biggest expense in your life right now.
I like that, a financial haircut.
Right. So now what we do is we help most people cut their tax bill legally by 40 to maybe even 70%. And I always tell people, if you're making less than $75,000 a year, you shouldn't pay any federal taxes if you understand the tax law and how things work.
Okay.
So I teach people basically financial literacy. Because when you look at grade school, elementary, all these going all the way up to college, we have no real obligation to get financial literacy, but we're obligated to take things like history and science, and all those things are great, but we live in a society that's based on capitalism, but we don't understand the rules of capitalism, and that's not done to us by accident. I tell people, you're getting robbed intellectually. So some people will rob you with a gun, and other people will rob you intellectually. We'll talk a little bit about that. So so people, some very astute business people are stealing your wealth. But what happens is we don't understand that we are in a fight. When in capitalism, we are in a fight. And if you don't understand you're in a fight, you don't know you're supposed to be fighting.
Right. And you're not equipped and don't know what to fight with. Yeah, you don't have the tools.
Absolutely. So we have to minimize taxes. So I help people to cut their taxes all the way down to just about zero. Typically by $500 to $1,000 extra a month back into their pocket. Now imagine what a person could do. See, the reason why people are in debt, obviously, people or corporations and capitalists that build businesses put people in debt. Now, debt is a vice, in my opinion, used to enslave. So, and that's biblical. The Bible says that the borrower is subservient to the lender. And if you go to Deuteronomy, it talks about who's the head and who's the tail. The tail is the one doing the borrowing. The head is the one doing the lending. So when I really started to understand that, I started to understand why. See, people are breaking some of the first financial rules that was really set out to them. So we have to understand our relationship with debt. Now, the only way to get out of debt is either have some money to pay it off or file bankruptcy. Well, most people are really not in a position to file the bankruptcy because obviously the laws and all that stuff has changed. So now we have to get some money. So what we do is we restructure people. We restructure their taxes. So now they take the former money that was going towards taxes, and now they take it and pay off the debt on the government's dime. It's basically a tax subsidy from the government. So the government will help you pay off all of this stuff, but most people don't understand how it works.
They don't understand. That's correct.
And the other obstacle I would like to put out here is something called inflation. See, when we work jobs, we cannot outpace inflation. Inflation, it grows. Ever since we had paper money, there's always something called inflation. It's not something new since Obama and all. It's been going on for many years. And in 1993, a gallon of milk was $1.25. Today, a gallon of milk is $3, $4, depending on where you go. Well, that's a 3 times increase. Well, if you look at where you were 20 years ago and where your income is today, your income did increase 3 times.
It did.
So we're not keeping up with inflation. So it's impossible to just say, okay, I'm going to work me a good job, and then I'm going to do this, that, and the other, and be okay. That the mechanics of that, it worked when taxes were 1%, 2%, and 3% in the 50s. Well, now taxes is 30% and 40%. You cannot do it that way. So you have to add the component of business income to this on the side. So what we do is we teach people how to outpace inflation, and there's only 2 ways to do it. Number 1 is in a business, and number 2 is through investing. And we teach people how to do those things. So we're not trying to sell you insurance. We're not trying to sell you investments. See, a lot of times in the investment world, the people that's selling the investment is also the one doing the educating. Well, that could be a conflict of interest. Okay, so they might sell you what gives them a bigger commission that day because the baby needs new shoes.
Right.
So you have to be able to discern.
If they want to go on a vacation.
Right. So you might have to discern whether they're telling you truth, true financial advice, or an actual sales pitch.
Right.
That's very important.
Right.
And we can only understand that through financial literacy. So we have a curriculum that helps you understand stocks, bonds, real estate, mutual funds, all these things. Not to try to get you to be an expert, but so you know the difference between the one or the other.
Right.
Okay, understand that a stock is the equity position, a bond is a debt position in a company. You got to understand what does that mean.
Yes.
So those things are all very important. And then obviously the debt is an issue. See, that stops you from building investments, because if you got a third of your income going to taxes, and then if you look, we got another third or more of the income going to just interest on debt, not even paying down principal.
Not even paying down.
So that's 60% of the income going to absolutely nothing.
Right.
And people are wondering, why am I failing?
Yes.
You're failing because you've given all your money away.
Yes.
So you have to restructure that and bring it back. So our system is designed to bring all that money and cash flow back. We've got people that pay off upwards to $200,000, $300,000 in debt, including the mortgage, in 3 to 7 years with this system.
Wow.
Okay.
That's
no
wonderful.
real new money.
Okay.
Okay. And then obviously they're in position to invest $1,000 to $2,000 a month in their 401k.
Okay.
And the government is going to finance this whole deal, because when you put money in the 401k, you get a tax deduction, and then it grows tax deferred.
Okay.
So those things are very important. So, and then we have a 3-step solution to the obstacles.
Okay.
Number 1 is minimize the taxes.
Minimize taxes.
Number 2 is to get the business income.
Business income.
And number 3 is to get what is called cash flow success.
Okay. Cash flow success.
Right. Earn money with money.
All right. I like that.
The
Earn
dollar,
money with money.
Right. The dollar can work harder than you.
Yes.
See, we are going to create $1 million or make someone a millionaire.
Yes.
It might as well be you.
Right. I agree.
It might as well be you.
Yes. Totally.
And I was showing some guys and some ladies an example of when we go out and buy cars and things on debt. I don't have a problem with people buying cars, but when you buy it on debt, you have to understand what's happening. So you get a $17,000, $18,000, $19,000 vehicle. Well, when you buy it on debt, you pay for it about 2 times when you go to the life of the loan.
Yes.
Okay, so now someone has figured out, because you were already in a situation where you didn't have the money to pay for it.
Right.
They said, okay, how can we make them pay for it twice?
Yes.
So they robbed you intellectually of about $14,000, $15,000. Well, if you're 35 years old, what if you had taken that $15,000 and put it into your investment account over that same 5 or 6 year period?
Right.
Well, now if you retire in 30 years from now, then you would have given away $256,000 on your retirement just that one time. Now the question now becomes is, how many times are you going to do that?
Right.
We buy cars. I see people buying cars every 5 or 6 years.
What is that all about?
Right. So we give away millions of dollars, if not 10 or 15 million dollars in our lifetime getting these things. We have to understand that yes, you are being robbed intellectually. So someone gives you something to pacify you. It's a nice shiny little thing.
Right.
And now, but see, they get the wealth. See, the wealth is being able to take that money that you gave them. See, Wall Street has a system. It's called cash, assets, cash.
Okay.
They take cash, they buy assets with it, it creates more cash, and then they do it over and over again. They keep flipping it that way, and they look up and they have hundreds of millions of dollars now, and they're wealthy. Now what we have to do is we got to start taking our cash and stop turning it into trash.
Okay.
We buy things that in 5 years we don't even want them anymore. So I always ask people this question: when was the last time you bought something that made you money? So now the next question becomes: when's the last time you bought something that just cost you money? That was this morning. They can't remember the last time they bought something that made them money.
Made money, correct.
And that is the main issue. So we address all that, and then we create all that into a business opportunity. So now we have people that use the strategy to get themselves healed up financially, and then now it becomes a system where they can expose others to this, and they can create a new stream of income with leverage and a residual component. Leverage means making money off not only what you do, but what other people do. See, wealthy people always have that going on.
Yes, they do. They have a way to do that.
Right, and then they got to get paid multiple times for work they do one time.
We're
always on the wrong end of residual income.
Yes.
We signed up for the phone bill one time, but we pay it every month. That's residual income for the phone company.
Correct.
So when's the last time you got some residual?
Right.
See, I tell people all the time, I make more money residually than some people make working jobs 30 and 40 hours a week. I can sleep all month long, go on vacation, and still have money coming in. Once you're on the other side of that and understand that, you can never say, I'm going to go back to that old way.
Right, you don't want to go back. That's true.
You can't do that. So we have to understand that America is built on entrepreneurship.
Definitely, yes.
In the 1900s, 95% of the people, early 1900s, 95% of the people worked for themselves. They did something. Yes. Now it's flipped around. 95% of the people work for other people.
Wow.
This is why we're in the... See, what has happened is we have been sold a bill of goods that we're supposed to just do this good job thing. And there's nothing wrong with having a job. Right. It's a blessing to take care of bills and all that and help you. But we forgot the one part. It's a stepping stone to get to wealth. See, God says, I give you power to gain wealth. Not to win wealth through the lottery. Not through, like it's just going to osmosis, it's just going to come down because I prayed. You get the power to gain wealth. So you can go out and create wealth. So what we do is we teach people how wealth is created. So once they understand the mechanics, see, I have a business partner of mine, and what the mission statement of our company is to build a business and an institution that astounds the world, so the Lord God Almighty will get praises and glory. To create thousands of financially independent families that become a blessing to their country, community, and fellow man. We will win by execution. So not only just through the commission-based structure of the business will we create financially strong families, but through the principles and things that we teach, because they're sound business and financial principles, we've had people be able to take those things and parlay them into other businesses all over outside of the network of what we do. So that's what's important, because we always say there's more wealth that will be created outside of just our little structure. And we put 100,000 people through the system already. But it's going to be more wealth created outside of that than inside of that. So our whole thing is about personal financial success.
Yes, I love that. And I know you all are watching, and you got to tell someone about this. This is so invaluable information. I'm telling you, he's giving out jewels here that is going to change your life. You need to apply these principles, and you need to know how that process is. Now, is there a way, give them your information, how they can contact you, and maybe give them the next step of what they need to do as far as reaching out and getting more information about what you do.
Right. Number one, you can call me. My phone number directly is 810-618-0681. 810-618-0681. My name is John. And my email address is John, Jon, no H, at MaximumCashFlow.com. John at MaximumCashFlow.com. You can send me an email. Name and phone number will be great, so I kind of know who I'm talking to. I won't spam you or anything like that, or sell your information. That's not what we do. And then I can talk to you about what we have going on, how you can implement these systems and strategies into your life immediately, not down the road 6 months and all that. I immediately show you how to start putting these things into your life within the next few days. And I'm even running a special right now. And typically our services cost about $180 to get the service started.
Which is still minimal.
Right. And for when a person really looks at what we do, there are people that charge $3,000 and $4,000 for what we have, what we offer. But right now, we understand that it's tight times. Things are going on. People are spending 25 to 50% more than they have right now. So what we're doing is we're actually doing a special for $9.95. They'll get the whole training system, everything. Now, that's unprecedented, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to bless some people. Because we want them to have the information, and we want to have a record year that we pay out over $1 million+ in bonuses in 1 week. So what we're trying to do is get people into the system so they can start implementing the strategy into their lives. And now they can say, okay, let me talk to my brother, let me talk to my sister, let me talk to my best friend about this. We have people all over the country that have eliminated tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt using the system.
That sounds great.
Just one success story, and I love to tell her story, because would say she's the poster child of what we do.
Okay.
She got into our system several years ago.
Okay.
And her husband, they had been married for many years. They had 3 kids, and they were going through all the little stuff and sending them through tenants and all those different things. So she was using credit cards to kind of finance those things.
Yes.
Now the husband didn't even know that she had $50,000 worth of credit card debt on just taking care of those things.
My goodness.
So it wasn't that she was just buying stuff.
Right.
It was really just trying to kind of keep the family together and do all the things that we do.
Yes.
And they had about a $250,000 mortgage.
Okay.
And she was working, but she wasn't able to retire or anything like that. So she saw our system, and she wasn't what I call a real home run trendsetter in the business per se, as far as commissions.
Okay.
So she had never went out and just made tens of thousands of dollars in a month or anything like that.
Okay.
Okay. But what she did is, once she understood our strategy, she cut her taxes by $1,200 a month.
Wow.
Now she took that money and got 100% debt free on those credit cards in a little over 2 years.
That's wonderful.
Okay. Then not only that, she was able to take the money that was going towards those credit cards and that extra $1,200 that was going to taxes.
Wow.
She took that money and added it to the mortgage payment.
Wow.
Now the house is paid off.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
And she's saving 50% of her income today in her investments.
Wow.
Okay, because she's not old enough to retire yet.
Okay.
And she has over $600,000 in her investments right now.
Wonderful.
Her house is free and clear.
Wow.
She is a millionaire based on the strategy.
Okay.
We have people all over America like this in this company. So we have a very powerful concept, very powerful concept that anybody can do. You plug into the strategy, and the strategy helps you fix your life.
Yes.
And then if you want to create an income opportunity out of it, bam, it's right there.
Wow. I think that's wonderful. Oh my gosh. I mean, and you all are being a blessing, and so in turn you're going to be blessed.
Absolutely.
Because you're helping others, and that's what it's all about, helping each other, working together as a team to help to develop and get us to that financial success. Because guess what? Debt is going to be there unless you deal with it.
Absolutely.
It's going to be there, and whether you pay it off or don't, those 2 years are going to go by. So do you want the 2 years to go by and get out of debt, or you want the 2 years to go by and stay in debt?
Right.
So either way, the time period is going to keep going. The time is going to be there. It's how you manage that time and how you take advantage of that time, because 2 years is nothing when you think about how long it took you to accumulate that debt. It might take you 5 or 6 or 10 years, and you can get out of in 2 years. I mean, that's amazing. I mean, and people should be calling now. I'm telling you, you can even call the studio if you'd like, and you can reach us at 586-229-0287. That's another ministry. I'm reading the wrong number. I apologize. But if you want to call right now, if you have questions and you're listening and you have a question about this, call us at 248-996-8952. Again, 248-996-8952. 54. We would love to hear from you. I'm telling you, this is good information that's going to set you up for the up and coming year. You can do it still this year. Now, how long is this promotion going to go on?
It's going to go for about 10 or 12 days.
Okay, to the end of the year almost.
Right, about the end of the year. And so it's very time sensitive. So if you want the $9.95, you want to get enrolled on it right away, immediately. And then you would inherit my expertise in working with you as the coach on that. So even if you don't understand all these things right now, that's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to work with you, we're going to train you. I have classes and things that I do on a regular basis, and I do it via the web, I do it live, I do it on conference calls or webinar, whatever works for the person. And so they just plug right into the system and instantly go, and some of us in the company, we call it the 369 transformation. And what that is basically going from negative to positive cash flow within 3 months or less. Then we turn around and put you in position to make $1,000 a week in business income in 6 months or less. And then in 9 months or less, you become an investor and start making money on investments.
I love that. 369.
369.
That's a good goal. And with the finance, you have to have goals and you have to have a process. And they have gotten it down to a science, and it's been effective. And $9.95 is such a minimum investment for you. That could be your Christmas gift to yourself. How about that?
Absolutely. To take $10 and turn it, you take some cash and turn it into an asset, and then it creates more cash.
Wow.
And my business partner, he tells the story. He got in business in 1982 for $10.
Wow.
And he's been able to generate over $700 million from that $10 investment all the way up until today.
That's phenomenal.
So it's not really how much you pay for something. It's what you do with it and turn it into.
Yes.
And I tell people all the time, America was free. Someone came here, discovered it, found it, and now look at where it is today.
Right.
It's not what you pay for something, it's what you turn it into.
Yes, yes, definitely. And I like that concept that you said, what is the last thing you bought that made you money?
Absolutely.
Opposed to the last thing you bought that cost you money. You know, we invest in expenses as opposed to assets.
Right, and we call the company My Econ.
Okay.
So that's short for My Economy.
Okay.
See, we don't need to worry about what's going on in the American economy.
Yes,
what's going on in the world economy. As if to say, because the American economy is bad, your economy is going to be bad.
That has nothing to do with you.
Right, absolutely nothing. You have to fix yours.
Yes.
And what we have to do is we got to raise revenue in the household.
Yes.
And we got to cut expenses. That's the same thing America as a country needs to do.
Yes.
So your house is no different.
Right.
So what we have to do is we say, okay, let's fix our economy. So it doesn't matter if gas prices go to $10. You just need to have enough to fill it up.
Right, right.
Okay, because you can't control that.
Right,
inflation is going to be what it be.
Right,
You just got to make sure you have enough money and expenses are minimal to do all the things that you need to do to live the lifestyle that you desire.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if it's $2,000 a month to live how you want or $20,000 a month.
Right.
It's whatever. If you fit anywhere in that spectrum, then you have to have that money. So we help people fix their own economy.
Okay.
That's what it's all about.
I love that.
And we have to stop fixing other people's economy.
Yes.
So right now, this is what we're doing.
Yes.
We'll say, well, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to go to Best Buy and get the TV. And that's okay.
Yes.
But here's the issue. You fixing Best Buy's economy, not yours.
Right.
See, that's why they call it Black Friday. So they were in the red the whole year. Now you trying to help them go into the black. Well, when you going to get into the black?
Right.
You
I
in the
say
red.
that. I love that.
You in the black. I mean, in the red. So what we got to do is say, okay, let me stop making other people's economy more important than mine.
Yes.
See, just because Ford put a new car on TV don't mean you got to go buy it.
You don't have to go buy it.
Okay?
It's a discipline.
It's all marketing.
Yes,
We've been marketed to on a basis. Everything is about marketing now.
Right.
It's just like, okay, just an example. Nothing wrong with having an iPhone.
Yes.
But they make a new one every 12 months.
Hello.
And we have they have people that just say, "Oh, I need that one." Right. You've been marketed to the thing that you supposed to go get it just because they made one.
Yeah,
right.
New and improved.
So now
they just do all these bells and whistles to make it, but it does the same thing. Answers calls.
Right. So, but what happens is now when you give that money to Apple, they're capitalists.
Yes.
They take the $500, $600, $700 or whatever it is that it costs for that phone, and now they take it and invest back into their asset, their infrastructure to build something else.
Yes.
And so they took the money and turned and put it into an asset to create more cash. See, that's the system. Cash, asset, cash. But you took the cash and turned it into something that you don't even want in 12 months.
Exactly.
So
and it won't even work. And 2 months, they give you those 2-year contracts, and by the time you got to renew it, the phone is not even working.
A lot of times the phone is broken. So I don't know if they do that on purpose or what's going on with that.
Of course they do. I mean, you can't. You can't make a product that's going to last a lifetime because it's not economically feasible for them.
Absolutely.
You got to make something that's going to break down, that's going to work good for a little time, and then it's going to break down so you can buy new, because otherwise they got to keep living, like you said, and that's building their enterprise. Oh my gosh.
Right. So we got to get that concept.
Yes.
Cash, assets, cash.
Cash, assets, cash. Say it with me, you all. Cash, assets, cash.
See,
that is it.
Right. There's nothing wrong with having nice things.
Right.
But if you start buying all these things on physical work that you have to work and get the money, that's the wrong way to do it.
Yes.
You need to buy all the nice things you want based on the asset paid for it and not your labor.
Right. Yes.
That's two different things.
Yes.
If you got if I have a Benz and someone else has a Benz, but they work in the shop or something to get the Benz, but I had a business or an investment that's paying for the Benz.
Right.
That's two different worlds.
It's two different worlds.
Because if you mess around and it's on credit and you mess around and get laid off or something happen, now the real owner will show up. So what we have to do is we got to have money working for us at all times.
Yes. And that's the difference between, I had talked about on the program before, wages and income. Wages is something you have to earn, and you have to work, and you have to get it. Income, wages can be a part of your income, but income can come from, like you said, investments that you've made, something that you're not working for. You can sleep and still be making money.
Absolutely.
And I think I read across a quote that said something to the effect that, the only time you should be sleeping in is when your money's making money, when you can sleep and make money while you're sleeping. Otherwise, get up and go work it.
Right. And I tell people all the time, you have to fight like it's no tomorrow for residual income.
Yeah.
Because you have to answer the question. If you don't answer it today, the what they say, the chicken will come home to roost. You will have to answer the question one day.
Yeah.
Where is the money going to come from when you don't work?
Right.
And that needs to become more important than some of the little things that we just buy just to buy. Right. And money, what people have to understand about money is very emotional.
Oh, absolutely.
So when when we feel bad, then we try to spend our way out of it.
Yes.
And what that does really create more depression.
Yes.
And because now we are broker than we were.
Right.
And we got some little trinket or whatever it was, and it give us a little
temporary.
A little temporary feel good.
Yes.
And then, we got issues. But the number one product in the world is money. If you have a system that gets people money, that's the best business you can be in my opinion, and that's what we do.
Yes.
So I sit and talk to a lot of people. They say, well, I'm in the energy business, I'm in the coffee business. Well, all those is great, but I don't think that coffee is the issue that people have that's destruction in their lives. It's the lack of money and the lack of understanding of money.
The lack, lack of knowledge.
So we've packaged that into a very user-friendly format where the average small person can say, hey, how does this work? So now they can understand and they don't get taken advantage of financially in this world of capitalism.
Excuse me.
Because we have to have a financial curriculum.
Yes.
We have to understand at least the basics.
Yes.
We know in Julius Caesar and all these, we know about all this stuff that's really irrelevant to today. It's great to understand what a rhombus is and all that. That's good. But when last time you dealt with a rhombus out
exactly.
here? So unless you're in that field.
Right, exactly.
And I think what has happened to us is we've kind of destroyed ourselves in thinking that, okay, just because we got a degree that we are successful.
Right.
You are only successful in the area you got the degree in.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Because everybody's ignorant in something. Right. Nobody knows everything.
Right. So what I mean is education is subject specific.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So if I got a degree in being a doctor doesn't mean I know anything about law.
Exactly.
Just because I got a degree in robotics doesn't mean I know anything about fixing teeth as a dentist.
Right.
And just because you have a degree doesn't mean you know anything about money.
About finance. That's right.
So we have to understand that we have to get the financial literacy in addition to where we are today. Okay? And our system fits what I would call middle America. Anywhere from $30,000 a year income all the way up to $300,000 a year.
Okay.
People fit our system.
Okay.
Because what we have to understand is those people in that bracket is really the backbone of America.
Okay.
All the goods and services are sold to these people. They are the ones that pay the bulk of the taxes in this country. And what we have set out to do is to help middle America get fixed. Okay. Because I don't see anybody coming to middle America's rescue. Okay. The job has already decided. Corporate America has decided that they're going to cut wages. You can look over the last 10 years, wages are actually down about 10%. Okay. And since the 1960s, people's incomes, household incomes are actually back down when you count in inflation and all that, down to where they were in the 1960s and 70s.
Wow.
And even though we have more physical dollars, but because of that inflation, we're back down there. So we must do things that are conducive to outpacing that, because that is not going to stop.
Right.
Okay, it's not going to stop. So the government's not going to stop trying to tax you.
Right.
And the capitalists are not going to stop trying to sell you things and put you in debt. So you got to understand that in capitalism, they're trying to separate you from your money, and what you must do is get them out of your pocket.
Yes, definitely.
That's what we're all about.
Yes. Oh, man, that is so wonderful. I'm telling you all, you got to contact them and get more information. That's what we're here for, is to help you, to give you an awareness about your money. As I say, your money matters, and that's why I bring these shows to you every week to bring on guests that can help you. We've talked about taxes. I had a CPA on who talked about people who had tax problems. Well, his program is going to help you to alleviate some of those tax issues by developing enterprise. And if you could quickly, maybe if you can tell them a little bit about even your program that's going to help them manage their money. You have a program that helps them manage their money.
Right. Our system actually comes with a planning software. What it is, it's a strategy.
Yes.
To put all that together. So it's a software system that'll build a debt elimination plan.
Yes.
It'll take into the account the tax minimization issue that goes in there. It'll put in the income that you make out of business. If you have any of that, you put that in there. Where you trying to what year you trying to retire, all those things. If you put your debts in there, it'll devise a debt elimination plan for you. So it goes step by step by step and tells you, okay, if you do this, this is what happens. If you do this, this is what happens. So now you can actually become your own financial planner.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
And so now what happens is you be able to look and say, okay, this is when I'll have my car paid off.
Yes.
This is when I'll be 100% debt free.
Yes.
In the year 2021, I will have this much in assets and savings. And so it tells you exactly where you'll be to say, okay, so based on the year that you were trying to retire and all this different stuff, it'll say, okay, congratulations, you have reached financial freedom. And I was showing somebody our system the other day, and I showed them how within a 10-year period, this person went from $50,000 in assets in their 401k to over $700,000.
Wow.
Okay, just with our system in a 10-year time frame.
Okay.
Now, people say, well, 10 years, that's a long time. Well, what else you got? What's your other plan? 10
years is going to come and go.
Right.
Whether if you don't have a plan or not.
Absolutely. So what's your other plan for $600,000 or $700,000 in the next 10 years? If you don't have one, you got to have something. Right. Okay. So,
and then you're going to be scrambling, and then it's like, oh, I shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Right. And, there are no points for second place in finance.
Wow.
Okay. Wow. There are no points for second place because the capitalists in life, what they're going to do is they're going to just they want every bit of the money that you have and more. And to prove that, they will put you in debt to do it. They will get all and then we got to understand that a financial game is being played on us. Okay, when we go get a mortgage, it's based on money we don't even have. What I mean is, if you make $5,000, but you only bring home $3,500, they make the payment based on if you have $5,000 coming in. But you don't have that, so now you into an imminent negative cash flow. You go into a negative. Definitely. The car note, same way. They base it on money. They make the payments based on money that you don't even have. And then once you look at taxes and all that stuff that went on, it's impossible for you to win financially in that scenario. So you have to turn that, and our software system helps you turn that strategically from the negative to the positive.
Because you know what? And when you put yourself in debt, you're making assumptions that you're going to even earn that money.
Absolutely.
You're making an assumption that you're going to even be alive to even pay that money back. I mean, if you want to talk about in the Bible where the widow and her husband died, and the creditors would come to take her sons and put them in bondage, enslaved, because that's what debt does. It enslaves you. And so she had to have a plan. And the prophet gave her a plan, and that plan developed. It was a business plan because she went and got the bottles and the oil, and she filled them. She worked the network. She went and got the bottles from the people, her neighbors. They went, her and her sons, her family. It was a family business. They went and she used what she had, and what she had was oil. She got the bottles, she filled them, and she was able to pay off the debt and then live off the rest. And that's the whole plan right there.
And what people got to understand is God told us a long time ago to change our pay system. Okay, because if you remember the story about Jacob and Laban, and it talks about how to stop working for the gold coins and start trading the work for the cattle. So he started to really get the cattle at that time. So he stopped getting the gold pieces, the money, and he got the assets. He started getting paid in assets. He looked up and he had all the assets. And see, now you get two cattle together, they make more cattle, and now you can sell them for money. So you can for food, whatever you need to do. So you need to change your pay system from a cash mentality to a wealth mentality. You got to say, okay, how do I do we call this basically income shifting. You got to shift from W-2 income eventually, which is working for someone, to 1099 income, which is being a business owner, and eventually all the way over to capital gains, where you're making most of your money off investments. Because now that's going to be taxed much less than the other two categories. And if it's in a business format, it could be just about zero. That's how Mitt Romney made $30 or $40 million, and he only paid 13% of his income in taxes because he knew he was running for president. See, it could have been zero, but he knew that would have looked bad.
Right,
so he said, well, let me just pay a little bit to, you know, and all that different stuff. So we got to transfer from W-2 to 1099 to eventually going full on investment income.
Yes.
And Warren Buffett makes 70, 80, 90% of his money from investment.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
Wealthy people make most of their money from investment.
Yes,
They don't, it's not from their physical labor.
Yes,
So
yes.
you've got to copy the wealthy if you want to be wealthy.
Yes.
So we have to do those things. We have to put those things in our life. And that's what our whole culture in My Econ is about. That's what our system, our training, our strategy is all about. Changing your mind, shift your mindset, change your mindset, change your money.
Yes, I love it. And you got to have a plan at the end of the day. So if you don't remember anything else, remember cash, asset, cash.
Correct.
That's powerful.
Correct.
Well, I want to thank you so much. Oh, man, this has been so wonderful. And you have to be able to contact him to get more information. Why don't you give him your number and name again? Okay.
All right. My name is John Pettifordale. Okay. I'm an executive vice president with My Econ. And my contact number is 810-618-0681, 810-618-0681. And then my email address is John, J-O-N, there's no H, just J-O-N at MaximumCashFlow.com. So you can contact me. I'll talk to you. I'll counsel with you, show you how to get started, and understand that the $9.95 to get the whole system that we've been talking about, that's a temporary deal. So typically we charge a little less than $200 for that. You're going to be able to get it for $10. So you can take $10 in cash and turn it into an asset that's going to create more cash.
Wow.
Change your life.
That's wonderful, man. Well, I know you've enjoyed this program. I tell you, you're going to have to view it on demand later on so that you can make sure you get all the information, because it's going to help you. The main thing is you have to have a plan for your life. You have to be in control of your assets and your money and your management, and you have to take it and be serious about it, because it's a serious matter. You think about the government shutting down. If the government shut down, you know, what is that telling you? That telling you got to do your own thing.
Absolutely.
With their non-essential jobs, they call them. Those are people's lives, and they can't live off of that. You have to create another means of income. So we encourage that, and hopefully you enjoyed this show. I'm so glad you tuned in. And as always, here at Real Money Matters, we want you to know that your money matters. It matters what you make. It matters what you spend. It matters what you save. It matters how you manage the money you've worked hard for, and it's been entrusted to you. So until next week, remember, it's your money. Make it count.